My mother had a locket she never once let me open. Not for 31 years, not even when I was sick, not even when I begged as a child. When she died, I finally opened it myself, expecting a photo of my father. Instead, I found a tiny folded newspaper clipping about a missing 3-year-old girl, dated the exact year I was supposedly born, with a name that definitely wasn't mine. The girl in the clipping was named Amy Bennett, reported missing from a shopping mall parking lot 2 states away. Last seen wearing a yellow dress, never found despite months of searching according to the fading brittle newsprint I held with trembling hands. I stared at my own birth certificate beside it, my hands shaking, comparing dates that suddenly felt suspiciously, impossibly close together. I'd always found it strange that we moved constantly throughout my childhood, 3 different states before I turned 6, no extended family ever visiting, no childhood photographs existing before I was supposedly 4 years old. My mother always explained it away as her being private, someone who preferred distance from complicated relatives. I never questioned it as a child. Now everything felt suspicious. I contacted the Bennett family through an old news archive, my fingers hesitating over the send button for nearly 20 minutes before finally typing a message that sounded absurd even to me. A woman named Carol responded within hours, still using the same email address after 31 years, still hoping, apparently, that someone might eventually write exactly this kind of message to her. Carol had never stopped searching for her daughter Amy, had kept every newspaper clipping, every flyer, every police report meticulously organized for 3 decades, refusing to accept the case as permanently closed, despite everyone around her eventually moving forward without her. She agreed immediately to a DNA test, her message ending simply, "Please let this finally be her." The results took 6 agonizing weeks. When they finally arrived, I sat alone in my car in a pharmacy parking lot, unable to open the email for nearly an hour, terrified equally of confirmation and denial, unsure which outcome would actually hurt less, considering everything I'd already learned about the woman I'd spent 31 years believing was simply, uncomplicatedly, my mother. It was a match. Carol was my biological mother. The woman who raised me, who I'd just buried 3 months earlier, had somehow taken me from that parking lot 31 years ago and quietly raised me as her own daughter in 3 different states. One careful relocation ahead of any investigation that might have eventually caught up with her disappearing act completely. I drove immediately to meet Carol in person, terrified and electrified in equal measure, watching an elderly woman collapse into tears at her own front door the moment she saw my face clearly for the first time in 3 decades. "You have your father's exact eyes," she whispered, holding my face gently between trembling hands like I might disappear again if she released me too quickly. Carol showed me photographs I'd never seen, a toddler in a yellow dress laughing at some forgotten birthday party, an entire childhood that had technically belonged to me before it was quietly, deliberately erased and replaced with a completely different life under a different name in a different state entirely, chosen specifically, apparently, to keep me hidden indefinitely. I never learned exactly why the woman who raised me did what she did, whether desperation, grief over a lost child of her own, or something darker I'll simply never fully understand now that she's gone and unable to explain herself. I only know I spent 31 years loved genuinely by a woman who'd built that entire love directly on top of someone else's unimaginable permanent loss. Carol and I are slowly rebuilding 31 stolen years together now, awkward but determined, refusing to let anger consume what little time we still realistically have left to actually know each other properly. If you discovered you were taken as a child by someone who genuinely loved you afterward, could you ever fully forgive them? Comment yes or no below, and subscribe for more true family secret stories that'll leave you completely speechless.